everybody! Welcome to another episode of Who's an Anime? With your host Stephen Collin, as always. Because who
That's
else
right.
would do this show? And
We've had guests before.
oh yeah, we had guests
Yeah,
multiple times,
singular.
twice.
Yes. Once he covered for you,
Mm-hmm.
and once he joined us to talk about Pokemon.
Yes, so we can delve back into the archives for those two episodes: Pokemon and Vampires in the Garden.
Yeah, which I like. I'm fairly sure I said this on the episode recording for that as well. But Vampires in the Garden. All I hear is the Travis song "Flowers in the Window." It's really difficult to get it out of my head. So yeah.
I mean,
Vampires in the garden. That's just all I get.
it's very similar.
Yeah, it's basically the same. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Uh
I mean, that Vampires in the Garden, I haven't watched it, and it's on Netflix. But right, it doesn't seem to be like they're not contained in a garden at any point.
No, it's it's complicated. Uh, yeah, like they're in a garden, but are in search of a garden. I guess it's sort of like a Garden of Eden metaphor thing.
Garden of Eden.
Yes,
That
in a
worked out
Garden
so
of
well.
Eden. It sure did.
Yes. Don't eat apples. That's what I got from that, and that's why I don't
That
eat
is
apples.
that's why I don't eat fruit.
Yeah.
Just to be safe.
Yeah, don't want to get
Extra safe.
condemned by an almighty being that can condemn you.
No, you don't want that. Nobody wants that.
Never know. Might find it was just the rule of the garden who says don't do that, and they did, and then they left, and then that garden was destroyed, and there you go, Adam and Eve, destroyer of the Eden.
Yeah, yeah, it's a fair point.
That's a take that I'm going with, and controversy as well.
I mean, what would this show be without controversy?
On poor descriptions of episodes. Anyway,
Exactly.
let's get talking about controversy and
Oh boy.
animes. So we're covering Elfen Lied. Elfen Lied?
Yep. Yep. This was my suggestion.
Yeah, there's Steve's suggestion.
Sure was, right? I let me tell you a story about my history with Elfen Lied.
All right.
I watched this 16, 15 years ago. So not too long after it had come out.
Yeah.
And hey, it's amazing what your brain compartmentalizes and forgets, and what your brain remembers.
Oh, yeah.
I I completely forgot the level of fan service in this show, and remembered mostly the violence.
I mean, that's something to remember of the show.
It is a show of two. It's much like a coin with two sides. It has two sides to it. One is comedically pornographic, and the other side of it is horrifically violent to a degree that is uncomfortable in some respects.
I mean, yeah, I would say, for example, in our currency, we have a couple of coins which have actual proper sides. Like,
Yeah.
for example, the 50p or
Oh,
the
with like
20p.
you mean not round
Yeah,
with with actual sides. Shape
yeah.
sides, the official term.
Shape sides. Shape sides. Shape
Yeah,
sides,
shape
sheep
sides.
sides on the seashore.
Yeah, I think that's the mathematical term. Uh,
Math is good with you.
it's I am good at the math.
Send that message to
Um,
a mate earlier tonight. Um, So yeah, I think there's more sides to the coin. So you got
Okay.
you got those two, right? You got those two sides.
Uh-huh.
Then you
Uh-huh.
got like the I don't know, B um like a B movie esque script voice casting.
Okay, yeah, the dubbing is questionable.
I know
I do like how the teenage boy sounds like a 50-year-old man. That is enjoyable.
he is probably a 50-year-old man.
He is probably.
Yeah, but it's just some of the lines like in the third episode, with no, the second episode with the the insane killer that shouldn't ever be let out.
Oh, Bando.
Good old Bando.
We'll get to him. Uh, Bando. Bando's not great. Um,
No,
yeah,
no, it's
yeah.
not.
There's some stuff and some things. Yeah,
You have
we're
fond
still
memories of this
remembering.
anime.
Well, so hey, um, I don't think it's bad by any stretch of the imagination. I did also watch the Japanese originally, and not the dub.
Oh,
Um, but even that aside, I think there are some things that are maybe slightly more questionable in the year of our Lord 2023.
mm,
And by
yeah.
questionable, I mean maybe like, hey, you probably wouldn't have that in shows these days.
Well, I would see that. Yeah. So I watched this a few years ago. Well, on a
Really?
yeah, yeah, on a recommendation from a girl. There you go, or a woman,
That
even.
that is fascinating because this does not seem like something that any woman or girl would look at and go, seems like a good depiction of women.
I mean, I don't think she,
To be fair, it's not really a good depiction of men either.
it's
So
not a really good depiction of reality.
anyone, no, that's fair. That's fair.
It's
Uh,
it's out there. Yeah. So I watched it, and I think it was on Netflix for a year or so.
I think you are correct.
So I might watch it again then.
Um, I did. I had a look to see if the screenwriter of this show did anything else that I had watched. The answer was no. However, in our sort of quest for man, that's a hilarious anime name. Why is it so long? There are a couple on that list that I would like to read to you.
Okay.
Uh, one of them, no matter how I look at it, it's you guys' fault. You guys' fault. I'm not popular! Exclamation point. There are three punctuation marks in that sentence. And then the other one, which is slightly shorter. If it's for my daughter, I'd even defeat a demon lord.
Yeah, are they quite recent by any chance?
The demon lord one is 2019, and the other one's 2013.
Ooh. Starting the trend back then.
It's going right back. Um,
Yeah,
fascinating stuff. Uh, yeah,
and that's what you
we.
come here for.
I mean, so here's the other fun thing
Hmm.
is it took me a really long time to realize that the episode names in Japanese
Hmm.
are in German and also Japanese.
In German and Japanese.
So if you look at the title cards, there is a German word,
Uh huh.
um,
Beginning.
and then underneath it, it's Begegnung, I
Oh,
think, is the which is actually German for encounter, not beginning.
oh, okay.
And the thing that's because I actually misread that as beginning as well. So when I looked at it, I was like, okay, that makes sense. Maybe it's not even the name of the episode. Maybe it's just like a title. And then I was like, no, the episode when I look it up is a chance encounter, which is episode one. It wasn't until episode two, which I had seen was called Annihilation.
Mhm.
I noticed that the word for the title was Vernichtung, which is annihilation in German.
Ah,
So I was like,
okay.
oh, okay. So there's something going on here.
Why do
Uh,
Why do you know the word for annihilation in German?
It wasn't so much that I knew the word for annihilation, but there were similarities to other words I had seen in German that I thought, oh, that I wonder if that does mean annihilation, and it does. So
I
there
starting to
you go.
worry. Starting to worry. You know the word for annihilation in German, and you only ever took the violence from this anime in your memory.
I mean, that is an issue we may get to while we talk about this show. But yeah, so it's interesting because of course, like they have their English name, but then the actual title cards are German and Japanese,
Hmm.
and it got me thinking because the only other sort of cross in that sense that there were a couple of crossovers with Japan and Germany for
Uh-huh.
manga, and it got me thinking of both Monster and Hellsing, which have some uh, mentions of Germany. Well, the fact Monster actually takes place in Germany, and there are certain parts of Hellsing, I think, that take place in Germany.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how close Japan and Germany are. I'm pretty sure they distance
Not
themselves quite a lot after the
yeah,
war.
after a certain point. Yeah,
Yeah.
after a certain point, they probably couldn't talk to each other very much, much like two naughty children being separated in class. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I found that quite interesting because like I think you might find like sort of similarities stylistically to like buildings or things like that, but it's very rarely depicted as actually Germany. There's no Germany in this, but it was just interesting to see like the German language being used.
Oh yeah.
Because while I was looking at it, I was like, I wonder if it was like because we're watching my copy of these. I was like, oh, I wonder if it's like the best versions of this that they could find were like the German the German visuals, but they had an English dub that they threw on top because like the actual um Blu-rays are decent quality, like they're proper delivery. So I was like, oh, the last time I watched they looked like shit. So
Oh.
it was nice to watch them in higher definition.
Yeah.
But I digress. We're on to episode one, a chance encounter or a Begegnung, which I think is actually German for meeting
Oh yeah.
or encounter.
Shall we?
Um,
Shall we
just
go into another wee fact?
oh, go for it.
The format of this series, this episodes. So
Oh,
we're going to cover 3 episodes this week,
oh, yes,
and then do 2 episodes the following week till the end.
yeah. So that we get more time to talk about the last episode.
Mhm.
Although, maybe we should add in the additional episode at the end because there is an OVA that I have never seen.
There's no VA.
Yeah,
It's on your collection.
it's on my Blu-rays. Yeah,
Oh God.
and chronologically,
Uh huh.
the OVA fits in between episodes 10 and 11.
Actually, maybe I watched that.
See, I've never seen it because it came out. It like the well, oh well, it was released. But I don't remember having watched it.
So wait.
Uh,
Does that then just mess up your whole? Let's do 3 this time and then 2.
well, it means that what we could do is do 10, 11, 10, 10.5, and 11 in one episode, and then do 12 and 13.
Just like what we did in Cowboy Bebop,
Yeah,
because we did the movie in
yeah,
between.
that's right. Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
We could do that. I think we
All
did.
right.
Did we release Cowboy Bebop in the movie in two parts? I think we might have.
We end up talking
No,
a lot of shite.
I had to stitch it together because my computer crashed. That's what it was.
Oh yeah. You went.
It-
Nope. That's enough of this.
nope, not doing that.
Yeah.
Uh, so yeah, we're going to be doing the first three episodes today. First episode is a chance encounter, and I would like to say that one of my fondest memories of this show is I think it has one of the best intro, like cold opens to
hmm
any show I've ever watched.
It's quite cold.
It's super fucking cold.
I mean, like, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I don't think she's warm.
Nope. So we enter into the equation with a guy. It's an arm on the ground, and a guy bleeding everywhere, and what looks like a kind of chained up person with like a metal mask being held suspended off the ground.
Mhm.
That person is our main character to a degree, or one of our main characters.
Mhm.
It seems like she's on her way out. She's stepping on out.
I, I want to say this now. I think she possibly has the best voice actress in this anime.
Oh, she does. Like she does. Her so we'll get to talk about it, but the
Mhm.
character is sort of in essence two characters. But yes, the sort of actual speaking voice
Mhm.
actor is fantastic.
Mhm.
Um yeah, like she's actually really good.
Mhm.
I think you are 100% correct. But the 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 thing about this that's really cool is it reminded me a lot of, I don't know if you ever played the game Galarians
No, I
on
think we
PlayStation.
keep talking
I'm
about it,
sure I've made this.
and
I'm sure
I
I've talked about this.
argue blue in the face and saying it's on PlayStation 2, but it is on
Th-
PlayStation.
There is one on PlayStation 2, though. You are correct.
Yeah, no, never
But
played it.
basically, it's about a kid who is experimented on and has different psychic powers, like the ability to read minds, the ability to like manipulate objects, and the ability to set fires. So like pyrokinesis, telekinesis, and things like that. It's pretty
Yeah.
cool. And this, the very first time I was watching it, was like, oh man, she's just like destroying people with her mind. Shit. Just like guy has his arm ripped off, and then other guys like, oh, this seems bad, and then then the head, his head just kind of,
Yeah, I
and
think yeah, and blood
he
everywhere.
gets kind of, yeah, he like opens like he gets opened like a bottle.
Yeah.
There are so many people who are immediately turned into blood fans in this intro.
Mm.
It's incredible.
Yeah. And then she busts down the door. That's the big vault door that sealed her in. Like
Yep.
it's not like a light. It's a good proper blast door.
It's a bit like a safe door from a bank vault that she
Yeah,
breaks down.
she breaks it down.
Uh do we is it this we cut to the assistants all in their quarters like saying it's like, oh, gossiping about like how it's like, oh, today I'm gonna do a good job. Yes, I fucked up before, but today I'm gonna do it. It's
Yeah,
gonna be awesome.
yeah. It does cut to that bit, and there's other bits. I mean, it kind of they're talking about it, and then and it's just like of like people running down a dark corridor and just getting destroyed, and it's just like I'm going to be good. I'm not going to fuck up anymore. I'm going to be
Yeah.
great
Oh,
for the director because he's cute, and everyone's like, oh, he's got a mean
yeah.
face though, and he's like, I don't think
Yeah.
he's scary. And then you see her cutting down the, I don't even know. So like, there's big like things going off. It's like evacuate the building, please. Evacuate,
Yeah.
evacuate. And
She
she's
which none
carrying,
of them have apparently heard.
yeah, well,
Oh, she
you,
hasn't
she
for sure.
hasn't, and she's carrying a tray of tea, like just one cup of
Yes.
tea on a tray, and she's wobbling all over the place from just doing that.
Yep.
And
But there's
she,
the I don't want to get too much into the blood of it because there's so much blood and you have to watch it. But like there are scenes of like a guy running up the corridor, and as he gets to the end of the corridor, he just kind of falls in half.
yeah,
It's just so good. Like
yeah.
it, it is outlandishly shocking when that guy's head, just the first dude's head, just pops off. Like it's mad. And then yeah, everyone else just like heads exploding, arms falling off, just like being cut in half, and it's like, oh, what? What's happening? And she's just like kind of, you know, slowly meandering, making her way through. She's also, we should point out, as I mentioned, fan service, she is 100% naked except the metal helmet. So,
Oh yeah, our protagonist.
oh yes,
Yes, not the
our
girl.
protagonist,
Protagonist. The girl
protagonist.
that's in the bottom
Yeah,
corner. I think
yeah. Oh yeah, for those of you who can see, yes, the girl who's in the bottom corner of the picture. But yeah, you're right. This girl is desperately trying not to drop this cup of tea, and our other character is literally just ripping people to pieces. Bullets flying all over the place. They do nothing. Uh, and she eventually sort of you kind of just before this scene where she's like bumbling with the tea, you see she like corners a guy like right in like at the doorway, and he's like, "Oh, please don't." And then it kind of cuts away. There's just blood everywhere, and you see sort of a bloody handprint
Up here in the
on the
wall.
wall, and it slides down and opens the door. So you start to get an idea. It's like, oh, there are hands involved here.
Yeah, hands. Yeah, yeah.
It's not just psychic ability potentially. There's some sort of force going on,
Mm.
and yeah, then she just kind of is it that she makes her way? No, is it when she gets out of the elevator?
No,
There's a bit where she like
she
is
got
that
out of the
after this?
elevator. So the elevator was before that, where she's kind of
Yeah,
carried in
yeah,
the
yeah.
elevator, and they just lay bullets into it, and she's just like that, and then
Like visually, that's a really cool scene
and then
because like she's just sat curled up in a ball in the bottom of the elevator, and there's bullets flying at her, and
mhm.
then they stop, and all the bullets in front of her just fall to the ground. It's
Yeah,
very Neo in the Matrix. Cool.
yeah, yeah, and then she kills the guys.
Oh
The
yeah.
we should also mention that they're actually shooting her with like proper like semi-automatic weapons.
Oh yeah, they have no intention of having her survive this altercation, and she has no intention of letting them leave.
Oh,
So,
and it is covered that apparently she only has a 2 meter.
oh, effective effective range.
Yeah,
Yeah,
unless she
if
picks
they
up an
stay far
object.
away, yeah, she does. She like kills that person, and the pen
Mhm.
floats up out of the air and just goes straight through that guy's head.
Mhm.
You're like, oh yeah, that guy made the mistake of saying, "Hey, we'll be all right if we stay more than 2 meters away."
Yeah, this is why it's terrible.
Oh,
It's all
oh
cliche.
god,
It's
it's
so
so
cliche.
good. It's so good though.
It's so
Like
cliche.
that opening scene is one of my favorite from any show ever. Like live action, movie, anime. It's just really cool. But yeah, we get back to her opening this door. She opens the door onto a group of military dudes and one guy in a suit. And here
This is
here comes lady assistant with her cup of tea going, whoa, whoa,
and
and
then
just
she's spill
falls.
falls, and then she goes, "Oh, director, I'm sorry. I'll get you something else." And the director's just shouting at her, "Run, run,
Oh my
run,
god, run.
run, just run."
How how shocked were you at this bit? Like
What?
because I genuinely thought there might be like a little bit of leniency here, but there's not. There's like zero chill involved in this entirely.
Uh, I wasn't that shot. Wasn't that shot.
Like I've watched this show like twice. Every time I see that bit, I'm like, oh my god.
I was
Just
like, yeah, I was pretty much like, yeah, she's dead.
yeah. So yeah, she trips, gets up, and the guy's like, "Run, you idiot!"
Yeah,
And
run.
our girl just with the metal helmet just kind of goes, "Oh," bloop, and like twists her head off.
Yeah, and it floats in the air, and then she
Oh, it's
kind of
so
turns in,
crazy.
shows up the director, I think.
Yeah, and then they're like, "Well, open fire," and then it gets even better, where she picks up the corpse of the recently decapitated woman and uses it as a shield.
A meat shield, yeah.
Oh my god, there are so many bullets that body takes. So
Also,
many.
also the fact I think the director and her was kind of connected.
Oh yeah,
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 they
yeah.
were like, in a relationship of some sort.
And not anymore.
Yeah, so he's kind of pissed about
Immediately over.
that.
But
And
they
then,
this is actually a good bit of voice acting as well as you said, where it's like, "Come on, fire!" and they're like, "We've run out of bullets," and like it's just said with such careless abandon. It's like she is gonna mess up your shit, man.
no, don't worry. The guy comes forward and goes, I got this. And the director's like, no, don't do that, you idiot. And then he loses his heart.
He
It
does.
just
His
gets
heart
popped out his chest.
punched a hole right through him, and his
And,
heart falls out.
and lands on one of the guys behind.
Oh my god, it's so good. And yeah, then she just proceeds to cut limbs and heads, and people just all over the place, except for, of course, the director, who she
Yeah.
just walks calmly past. And as you see him turn to follow her, you see a bloody hand leave a print on his back.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
And then he rails in and says, oh, she's off to the emergency exit. Seal it up. So
this is another bit of great voice acting.
he sealed it up. So she sealed it up, and then there's been someone kind of watching all the CCTV camera all the way through this,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and the door open, the side door opens, and he's like, "What? How can that be?"
I do enjoy that bit because she just kind of like is looking at the door that's closed, like, oh, and then turns and goes, oh, there's an open door. You're like, yeah, that seems almost obvious, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
And
surely there was a breeze. You're naked. It's very cold outside. Why wouldn't you notice that?
I mean, she's got a helmet on. To be
She does have a
honest,
helmet on.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think she. I'm not sure how much she can see through the helmet. And not
Good point.
to like kill everyone, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um. Anyway, so she's there, does that, goes outside. The director goes, "Oh, right, get us a sharpshooter." And I was like, Why do you want us getting sharpshooters now? The corridors were pretty long as they were."
Yeah, you could have used them quite some time ago.
Yeah, and then he goes up. So they're up on like a turret, looking over this like cliff face into the water.
Yeah.
Uh, and he's like, "Okay, you only got one shot. Make this bullet count. You only got one shot of this." And the guy goes, "Ha ha ha! This bullet here, she is like a 50 caliber
It's an
rifle.
anti-tank rifle round.
Yeah, she can't stop this." And then it's aim for the back of the head, and then she just turns around at that moment, just to the side, to kind of give her a side glance up the tower, and the bullet just ricochets off the helmet.
Yep.
Oh, not,
It rips
not
the helmet off.
yeah, and she's got like a bit of blood coming from the head.
Yep.
And
I like that immediately upon impact, the guy goes, oh, she's still alive. And it's like, you are hundreds of meters away. You cannot possibly know that. He's immediately like, oh, she's still alive. Come on.
yeah, very much. And then she gets knocked out into the off the cliff into the water below her with her
Yep.
long pink hair. Like
Yep.
she has like body length hair, and it kind of wraps her whole up. You don't really see her face or anything at this point.
Yep.
Nothing. You see nothing. And she lands in the water, and then that's it. It cuts to a sleepy town somewhere beside the seaside.
And these are the bits that I don't remember.
Like,
Like, apparently, I've cut all of this harem bullshit out of my mind. It's like it was just like, oh,
90% of this anime.
I know. I must have like compressed it all into like just it's like
Blood and
these action
violence.
sequences were cool as shit.
Oh,
I mean,
oh.
yeah, okay, it's not. So yeah, we see a young girl who we will come to know as Yuka, uh, walking around and notices a young guy up on top of a staircase outside, and it's like, there you are. I thought that was you. This is I guess he's our lead character. His name is Kouta.
Yeah, Kota's our lead character.
God, he's an asshole.
He's got, I don't know, I'm not entirely sure the dubbing does it right.
Even at
Some
that,
of the
like,
flashbacks here, it's just like, yeah,
oh,
it's just like, am I watching ghost stories here?
Which I did get. I got like a TikTok the other day for. Have you done your homework yet? Oh, I forgot you were dyslexic. In homework, and have it? You done? You done yet? Yeah, you done? It's like, haha. Oh my god, I can't believe that show got made.
Is that the application form for the Special Olympics or something?
Oh god, I don't know. Like it's just.
Yeah.
Let's not return there. But yeah, it seems
Well,
that
worse than this though.
Kota, yeah, that's true. Kota and Yuka are cousins. She refers to him as
That's
cousin,
she
which,
does. Yeah.
oh boy, that's a problem. And
Cousins are legal.
that's a problem. And she's like, "Oh, you haven't been back since you used to visit, but now that we're both going to school, can't believe we're both going to university. It's going to be amazing. 8 years ago, you were here, and then we're not. You weren't here, and now you're back." So,
Hmm.
yeah, I think because they talk about like having gone to the
Fair.
beach
Yeah.
together.
Yes, because it's like, oh, how did you find me here? Oh, that's because you always come here.
That's
This
right.
is where you always come to. And it's like, yeah, the view hasn't really changed. And
Yeah.
then I think they go, let's go to the beach, and they go down
Oh,
to the
she
beach.
she says we're going to the beach, and then drags him.
Yeah, sounds like because we're looking at the beach from
Yeah,
the stairs up the hill.
and then they arrive at the beach, and are met with a semi-naked, and by semi-naked, I guess actually fully naked now.
She was fully naked.
Uh,
She was fully. Oh yeah, she didn't
yeah,
have a helmet. I
she had the
suppose
helmet on. It's like, well, I guess you probably don't look at someone who's only wearing a helmet and going, look at that mostly clothed person. So
not in my lifetime.
that's fair. That's fair. You're
Uh,
right. You're right. You're right. Uh,
uh, so no, they arrive at the beach and then they talk about it and he reminisces about this past and I think his sister,
oh, what was his sister's name? Kane
uh,
or something like that.
yeah, Kansas, call her Kansas.
Kansas, who died.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yeah, from an
I don't
illness,
know, from a quote illness.
but he
Um,
that's not till later
yeah.
because
Uh,
when you had the flashback and this is where you get the sense of his dick. It's like, look, brother, I got you these. Oh, ain't that fucking nice? Is
I'm
is
yeah.
is is
That's right.
the power of it?
Here's here's these shells. Boy, those sure do look like crap. Oh, shucks. And
Yeah,
then yeah, you're like, oh wow, cool. So glad that last memory of your younger sister was you going, wow, thanks for nothing.
pretty much. Um,
Uh, and
and then
then Naked Girl.
yeah, and then I think Yuka is also staring at the sea where he's reminiscing about this because he's facing her and she's facing the sea, and says, "Who's that? It's what? Oh, yeah, that's kind of weird. Some naked girl standing in
Yeah,
the waves just appeared right behind them."
yeah. And they're like, oh, hey, you all right? And she's like, and she says, new,
Meow,
new,
meow,
new. And
meow.
then they're like, okay. And she's like, nope, gotta go. And just kind of runs and falls. And Yuka's like, "Oh, come on, hey, Kota, take off your clothes." He's like, "What? Take off your clothes." He's like, "Okay, okay." So he has to take off his shirt and donate that to their newfound friend.
Hmm.
Uh, and this is where it gets a bit confusing as well because they kind of go, "Oh, what should we do? Well, we should take her home to your place. Should we? Should we not go to the police? Feel
Oh
like we
no,
should go to the police."
or take it home to your place. What place? That place you got
What?
that because
Yeah,
he's
take
just
her to
moved in.
that place you've got. Yeah, that place that you haven't really been yet or done anything in
Yeah,
because we haven't we haven't introduced it yet.
no, that's it. The song on to it. So
And it's like, oh hey, here's this. Let's take her back. To but they do notice actually that she does have bony protrusions from her skull underneath her hair.
yeah, Um, yeah, I think it's maybe a bit later to go. Oh wait, actually, they're actually in her head. No, I think it's when dressing her. It's really,
Is it when they're dressing her?
yeah. I
Well,
think
they take her back to the house, and then it's like, okay, here's your 10 bedroom house.
it's not a house. It's a
Well,
restaurant.
yeah, but here's the thing, right? Is that he seems really frustrated that he has a whole 10 bedroom or 10 room place to be in, and then it's like, oh, and it'll only cost you keeping it tidy to stay there. He's like, I have to keep 10 rooms tidy all by myself. It's like, you're the only one that lives here, douchebag. Just tidy up after yourself. My God.
It's not the smartest.
No, he's so irritating. Like it's just like this. Like it's
Oh
like a
wait,
gift.
are you bodying this to Ghost Stories with the quality of lines in it? Well, I suppose that's and School Days with its quality lines and irritating main male character.
Yeah. I mean, to be frank, the lead character of School Days is maybe the worst main character in anything ever, and not because he's badly designed or badly written. It's because he's an asshole. He's absolutely terrible. Like fundamentally the worst person. In this example, he's just a gormless moron who doesn't know how good he has things.
Yeah, it's true. He doesn't. Um. Anyway, so they're in this place, and I think he has to give up his underwear from you.
Uh,
He's
they
just
they mentioned something about the clock. The clock in the hallway is broken. Yada yada yada. Clean up after yourself. Do this shit. Let's find her some clothes. Um, and then they get her some clothes, and then he's unpacking.
yeah. And then he does some reminiscing about his sister again.
Yeah, and this time it's reminiscing about, hey, I found a good shell, and he's like, oh, well done. And she just wanted some head scritches as a reward, which is okay.
Yeah.
Just wants a pat on the head. Good job.
When they eating rice balls, this is also a bit where they eat rice balls,
I
and
think it might be
and he
an new
shows
loses her fucking mind.
she doesn't. Well, she doesn't know how to eat the rice balls.
No,
And then he's like, "Oh, you can't eat it like that." And he says, "Oh," and then you getting rice all over you, and he's picking the rice off, and then
yeah.
Yuka kind
I,
of gets a bit jealous and walks out. I think.
it's the bit where he holds up the rice ball like this. You got to hold it like this, and she just leans over and takes a bite out of it. And he goes, "You're hopeless." It's like, no, she is, but you are also equally hopeless. So,
Yeah, and then uh,
oh,
anyways,
this is the bit with the unpacking.
yeah. So then do the unpacking, and then he brings out the shell. Um, Did we not cut back to the base where they're hiring the goons to go and get her? And
Oh, I think we cut back very briefly to like the guy shooting a lot of targets, unless that's the next episode. They kind of run together a little bit. But yeah, there's like a it's like yeah, because he's like the guy's like wearing like a Sam Fisher uh what the
night
fuck is
goggles,
that game called? Yeah, what's
Splinter
the
Shell.
game? Splinter Cell, but with red, and he's like going shooting all the sort of virtual targets, and then eventually
All
he's
of
like
them.
it's all of them very
Because
quickly.
there's maybe innocents in there too, but he just like doesn't give a shit.
And he said, and he starts yelling, saying, "What use is it if the targets don't bleed? Give me something to shoot at, or something real to shoot at."
I want
And then
some
he grumps
humans.
about, yeah, and he goes back into the bit, and like the guy goes, "He's perfect." It's like, is he though? He sounds maybe not good. And then a woman comes behind, like walks past behind him, and he hears a noise, and he goes, "Punch!" and just knocks her clean off her feet.
Oh
And he's
yeah,
like, "Don't, don't sneak up on me."
yeah, dumb broad. Oh, actually, it was
I
swords.
I immediately wanted this man to die. What?
he doesn't.
Oh, we'll get there, but close, close.
Yeah.
I just, well, actually, firstly, I wanted him to be embarrassed, which I think we at least achieve. Second to that, I wanted him to die very fast.
Okay.
But
That's next episode.
yeah, yeah, we cut away to do that, and then we come back, and then he's like got the shell, and he's telling the story about
How
this was
it's
the
just
shit, how it was important to him. It was a memory of his sister.
yeah, and then Mew just because decided to call her Mew because she just says Mew. Even though
And
her
she's like,
real the name of our main protagonist is Lucy.
Lucy. Yeah,
Because
actually, we do learn that in this episode because they refer to her as Lucy.
director says Lucy.
That's right. And
And
now she's called New. Oh, I suppose actually we should be very clear about this. When she emerges at the beach, she's kind of very childlike now.
well,
She's
100%
lost.
childlike.
Like she's no longer a monster. We very much drove right past that. But yeah, when she comes out the water, she's forgotten who she is, what she was,
I
and
was
is
going,
now full of childlike wonder.
I was just going to play it off to say that this is just some random person first, because we don't know that.
We don't. That's a valid point. But yeah,
That'll,
it's pretty
we'll
much the same.
find out
It's
until
the
the
same
next
person.
episode. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, she breaks it, and then Kotaro, no,
Kouta.
Kota, it's Kotaro. Oh shit, was that
I
actually
think
from Ghost Stories?
That's no, that's Angelic Layer.
Was it Jelly Lair? Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
Jelly Lair.
yeah,
Talking
that's
about that.
Karate Boy.
Oh, that was Karate Boy. Anyway, Kota, he basically gets really upset with that. She tries to shell,
He grabs her by the clothes and like
tells her,
gets
"Get out,
gets really in her face. Yeah,
get out."
and he's like, "Oh, you understood that, huh?"
And then
He's a real jerk.
Yuka was like, calm down, stop it, stop it." And then it was like, basically, I think maybe she was trying to tell you something that you shouldn't have the shell and it's broken. And then I think
Well,
in this scene, because I think before he starts reminiscing about the piece, she says that he says that his sister died of an illness, and then Yuka
an illness.
is like, what? Not how I
Uh,
remember it.
she says, "Oh, is that what happened?"
Yeah,
You're like, what? You're a cousin. I feel like you might know that.
she know
Maybe?
this.
No?
Yeah,
Should
yeah.
know. It gets worse in the next episode, which, there's more news
Last
to what
episode.
happened to his fat. Is it the third episode?
I think it's the third episode.
I...
No, there's a bit. There's more undertones that's like mentioned certainly, but I think it's the third episode where she finally
Oh,
says
God.
that because I think she says it when he's ill.
Oh, you might be right, actually, yeah.
Anyway,
But
so
yeah, she breaks the thing, and Yuka says, it's like, oh, I think New saw that you were, it made you upset.
mhm,
And so she got rid of it because she wanted you to be happy, basically.
yeah, shouldn't the thing that you remember your sister shouldn't make you sad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So she's obviously gone out into the night.
into
Uh,
the wet night
is it the night? The wet night, yeah, it is.
because it's pissing down with rain.
Sure
Yeah.
is.
Uh,
Is he going to find her? He
no,
does. Yeah.
no, she does.
She does.
Yuka
I know
goes.
exactly where this episode ends and where the next one begins.
Oh, that's
So
good.
I'm trying to draw the line to
Yeah,
where
so
that happens.
oh yeah, Yuka goes out to try and find her. He stays in the house. Those
Uh-huh.
two policemen appear looking for a
A missing
girl
girl.
who
Yeah.
looks like Mew, but only scarier and more more adult like.
More, more, Yeah,
Or she's
yeah,
got a scary face.
yeah.
Uh, and she goes, he reacts and goes, "Oh, no, I don't know her." It's like he's incapable of hiding anything because
Yeah.
but the policemen buy it and leave
Yeah,
him.
immediately and just go, "Yeah, cool. Thanks for your time." And then he 2 seconds later is like, "Well, I better go and find her," and runs out the front door. It's like, oh, if those police were any good at the job, they'd go, "Oh, he's leaving. That's weird.
Yeah, exactly. And
It's weird that he actually ran past us on the way out of his house."
yeah, and also essentially did that. So he goes, "I better go and find her," and he goes, "Should I leave the door open?" Yeah, it was cool. I'll leave the door open.
Yeah, it's fine. I don't need to
There's a
lock this.
conversation about the door and locking it for
Why
some
is
reason.
that?
I
And then
don't.
it like that is like Chekhov's locking the door.
Yeah,
There's just no. Does that come back later to be important? No, it
uh,
does not.
no, because no, because it doesn't. It's,
No.
we'll talk about it in the next episode. But anyway, so he goes out. He's got a brolly, a bamboo tail brolly thing.
Yep,
Um, uh, and he goes down to the beach,
he does.
where I think Yuka's traveling down the street, street. But before that, I think do you not have? Are they not like the soldiers? Are not they not like being like um put onto a helicopter or flying around
It's
to the
not in this
location?
one.
I think it is because
Yeah, because you're right. Because the young girl is in
in the
the the shipping container or something.
yeah, she's just
Uh,
she's kind of homeless and hanging about.
we don't know she's homeless yet.
She seemed pretty homeless. She's just like hobbling with a dog,
Yeah. Oh my god, the dog.
half asleep.
That
Yeah,
dog.
the dog. Um, so I think they must be launched. They've launched the Croots and Bango Bonjo. What's his name?
Which one? Bando.
Bando. That's it. Yeah. He he basically like, yeah, this is great. We get to go out and kill people. It's quality. And then one of the guys is like, I'm taking this very serious. And then he pulls out his gun and like cocks it and goes, yeah, I can just kill you right now. And then he just clicks it, and then there's an empty chamber, and I'm taking it serious too.
Yeah,
And the super,
he's a dick. Because they're trying to like have a hey, you should really listen to this because this girl will kill you if you get within 2 meters. She has a secret weapon. We don't know what it is, but she's gonna kill you. So be careful. And he's like, ha, 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 ha. And then he opens the door to the thing to get out the plane, and he's like, "Hey, just fucking drop me off, motherfuckers.
yeah, I think
I'm
that
heading on out."
might be next episode.
Is that the next episode? Because
Yeah,
I did wonder.
because I think
Maybe she finds it.
there's and
Because
then
I know they end up back at the house at the end of this episode.
do they?
I think so. Or is that the
No,
second one?
because I thought it was on the beach. So he finds her at the beach because she's looking. She's on the beach raking through the sand and goes, ah,
But
I know.
I thought, but one of the ends of the episodes is her getting changed, and that doesn't seem like that would be the second episode.
That's the second episode.
It can't be though.
It is the second episode. Because the third episode opens
Why?
up.
Why
Uh, it it starts
with
with.
the same thing? Okay, no, you're right. Okay, I don't know where this episode ends. Where does this one end?
I think it's just finds her on the beach,
And it just cuts.
and I think it cuts at that point.
Okay,
And then
let's say that because we should just we've already talked for 50 minutes about the first episode. We must. We must persist.
50 minutes. It's been a bit less. But anyway, should I also
No,
say
it hasn't. It is. It's exactly 50 minutes.
it's 50 minutes that we started recording. We had a good yammer at the start. Anyway,
Fair
I
enough.
should also mention that Yuka was walking
Uh-huh.
down the street and she goes, I know, I'll go to the police. And she starts
That's
asking the
right.
policeman, and then she's like, wait, I know exactly where she's going to. And then says, sorry, I'll be going now. And the two policemen that was there at the house already, the two detectives looking for the
The
missing person,
detectives, yeah,
were also asking about this person.
doing some good fucking detecting.
And they were like, oh, it's here. Or is that next episode? Ah, fuck it. Anyway,
Let's end the episode.
let's end this. Yeah, okay, let's end the episode.
Episode one. Episode one is done. How do you feel about this, Colin?
I mean, sure, there's nice gory details at the start, and the action and the killing.
Do you like the intro song?
Oh, the one that you know.
Na 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 da 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 da.
No, not really.
I like it. I'm a fan.
But it's hummed throughout
Oh
the
yeah,
series.
it's a consistent theme throughout the whole show.
Yeah.
And the outro song is not great though because it's like this weird like Avril Lavigne juxtaposition.
Yeah. I didn't listen to any of those because I was rushing to get these done.
It's not great. It's not great.
I don't
The
think it
intro
is.
the intro's where it's at, I think. But
The
how do you rate it out of 10 then?
How I rate it out of 10? I don't know. Voice acting takes it out,
It's real bad.
and the harm theme of where he's collecting all the girls, but you gotta catch them all, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah. I mean, Lupino's actually alright. I can't lie, that was pretty funny, but it's
Yeah,
probably
Lupino
now.
was actually okay.
But probably now it's looking back at
Yeah,
it, I haven't watched it in
maybe
like
less
20
good.
years. Yeah, you might, maybe not, because there's some minors in that for sure. Uh,
There's certainly some minors in this too.
yeah, so starts alright. The premise is there. It's a good storyline. It's getting there. Voice acting could be better.
Yeah, it really could be.
And not so Resident Evil from PlayStation days of.
It's not quite you were almost a Jill sandwich level, but it's not good.
It's a bit cardboard.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, 7. I'm going to 7.
Okay. I am gonna give it an 8, almost on the intro alone. Like the
If,
first 5 to 10 minutes is just wild, like
mm,
absolutely wild. I don't, yeah, like I do think, I think this story is really fascinating.
mhm.
All of the trappings are maybe not 100% my thing, but like the actual narrative story is pretty fascinating. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm in. So we'll move on to episode 2, Annihilation, Vernichtung.
Mhm.
Vernichtung. This is, of course, they've sent the crazy people, or they've sent Bando, the madman, to deal with the problem as well as a bunch of other soldiers. And as I mentioned before in the previous episode, the previous bit is that he kind of is like not listening to anybody. He's like, I don't need to listen to your bullshit. I'm cool. I know what to do here. Just let me off this plane. And he opens the bomb doors.
Yeah.
And he's like, yep, just fucking throw me out. I'm gonna deal with this. It's like, okay, that seems like maybe a bad idea, but sure. And then I think he appears on the beach with the guy who's his like
His
with
partner.
his
Yeah.
but he jumped out the plane. How did that other guy get there?
Oh, he waited for him.
Fair enough. And then yeah, they're walking about really annoyed. Like Bando hates everyone, so he's like just
Mhm.
really annoyed.
Yes, another
Uh,
one.
and of course they are looking for like a proper murder machine.
Mhm.
And they find her on the beach uh with Kota.
Kouta, yeah.
Yep. And
And
they're like, hey, this should be easy. Fuck this guy.
pretty much, it's like, I'm going to kill you. And he's like, what do you mean? Well, you know the word kill, it kind of means I'm going to do that.
Again, really bad dialogue.
It's,
It's like,
it's
kill. Like if I pull on the trigger of this gun, you
you'd be,
fucking die. It's
yeah,
like, oh, okay, whatever.
yeah.
Bando, you suck.
Well, I mean, he did ask a stupid question, so
He did ask a really stupid question, and then for his troubles, he gets an absolute booting.
yeah. Well deserved, Putin. I think that's
I deserve booting.
if you're going to ask a stupid question when the man points a gun at you.
But yeah, so he gets to his feet and grabs New and is like, "Run now!" And Bando gives him a warning shot by shooting a line right next to them.
Mhm.
And he's like, "Well, no, you see, here's the thing. You can't leave." And he says to the guy, "What was it they said about leaving no witnesses? We'll have to kill them all." And he's like, "That wasn't our orders at all."
Yeah,
It's like,
shut up,
yeah,
you.
okay, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Shut up. Got some shit to do.
yeah,
So they basically make it make it so that Kota's not going to be a problem. Uh, give him another good kicking and then a beating about the head with
yeah.
the butt of the gun, and that
Well,
that works out real well for him.
yeah. The Yuka must then go to the police station in this one with the detectives
I think you're
because
right, and then they go
she
away a
comes
little.
to the beach and finds Kouta, and he goes, "You," and just
Yeah,
like, "I'm getting you an ambulance," and they get an ambulance. But the detectives also get the phone call. They go, "Oh, the hit squad's out," and they're like, "Oh fuck, they sent the squad out."
yeah. They weren't supposed. Fuck! These guys are bad. They're bad
Yeah,
news.
yeah, bad
They
news.
don't follow anyone's rules, not even their own.
Yeah,
And of course, then we get to the part where it's basically Bando dragging New away, uh,
or
and
do
the
not
guy's like, hmm?
they not go to get to the hospital? Do they not go to the hospital scene with the
Oh,
what's
do we
his
do the
name
hospital scene first?
and the detective? Or
Do we not like? I feel that before we get to the hospital, we have the whole scene with Bando.
and he getting mutilated.
Get yeah, because like the
Nah,
is that after that?
I think it is after that. Yeah, because the two detectives walk in on. Yeah, I think it's after that. I think there's
Okay,
the hospital scene, and he's there with Yuka. The detectives come in and says, "Hey, can you leave? We need a moment." And he's like, "Yeah, yeah." There's like, I got beaten up by a couple of soldiers. It's like, no, they weren't soldiers, man. It's a biker gang with some shite. It's like, no, they had guns. No, no, it wasn't that. It was some fireworks or some shit. And it's like, no, it's really soldiers. I know what I saw. Like, nah.
that's right.
Thanks for your concern. We'll keep an eye on it, but you should probably forget about it tonight.
Yeah, what you saw was swamp gas.
Yeah,
Uh,
song cast. Yeah,
that refracted the light from Venus, and
yeah,
that was what the military men were.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
don't worry about it. Don't worry
yeah.
about it.
Don't worry. Because you just go like, oh, I was at the beach with a girl, but I only just met
Is
her.
she okay? Yeah,
It's not the person you were looking
yeah.
for, honest.
I hope she's okay. You're like, yeah, Jesus Christ, man,
And
the hell's your problem?
he's just like, ah, he's he can't hold, he can't lie. He's literally saying, oh, no, no, it wasn't her, honest. It was a girl.
Yeah, but
It's
but not the
just
one you're talking about.
just asking for a friend.
Jeez. But after this bit, we cut back to the beach where
Hmm.
we we see Bando, who's like, I'm gonna beat the living crap out of you first before, come on, do something, killing machine.
Yeah.
And he's you know kicking her out, pushing her around, and he eventually, I think, does he just like gets right up and smacks her in the side of the head, and she kind of falls backwards over a boat.
Yeah, yeah. And the other guy's, hey, come on, man, stop it. It can't be
Yeah,
her. She's got
yeah, it
horns
can't
though.
be.
She's got horns. It's like
She's got horns.
who
It's
who
like
else? Who else has fucking horns?
who else has horns? And then the guy, he's like, "Go, just go and shoot her." And he's like, "Okay, I'm sorry." And then we like hear a bang followed by blood. You're like, "Oh no, this seems not good." And do we not? Is it like cut away to like the girl and her dog?
Mhm.
As they hear the gunshot and they start like the dog starts barking and
The girl
everything's
wakes
going
up
crazy.
because she's kind
And
of
then it,
curled in and sleeping. It's what?
yeah, and then it cuts back and Bando's partner is no more.
He's got a big hole in his chest.
He's a big hole in his chest. He is done. Uh, and then, to his credit, Bando lasts a little bit longer than I expected here. He's kind of like, dodging about. He's strategizing. He's thinking about what's happening.
Hmm.
The bit I like about this is that she, when she stands up and that guy's got a hole in him, she like rips the boat in half and then just walks through it. It's so good. It's so cool. Um, But yeah, then he makes like a big miscalculation when he's like, well, as long as I stay 2 meters away, he made that guy that same mistake as that guy with the pen.
Yeah,
It's as
because
long
she's
as I
just
stay
like
that far away.
just hurling shit at him like boats and
Yep.
shit.
And
Full on
he goes,
boats.
uh-oh.
And then he launches like a grenade into the boat or something. He just kind of like,
Yeah.
and then the rocket hits the boat in midair and above her. And then he kind of hides, takes cover and hides and sees that his colleague has a grenade on his belt. He's like,
Yep.
yes, that's my ticket. So he hides and he listens and he hears her stepping into a bit of wet ground, bloody ground. Even though it's raining. Anyway,
Yep.
uh, so it's all sounds insane. Surely, I don't know that the
Yeah.
cells different. That you step in blood on the sandy
Eh.
beach. Anyway, he's like, "Oh, that's it, time to shine." And then he pops out from undercover, and then she's just holding the gun. And he's like, "No way, that's cheating. That's cheating. You can't be doing that." And then
I I really like that bit.
loses
Like
his
that
shit.
is that was a proper comeuppance.
Yeah,
Where it's like, oh wait, you can't do that. It's like you don't know that.
yeah. And then I think she shoots some bullets, and it startles him, and then he
Oh,
basically
she hits him
lost
in the bulletproof chest, bulletproof vest.
and knocks him back.
Uh,
Yeah,
knocks him back.
and then she's just standing over him, fit
Just
right, standing right above his face, and just like uh cut his his gun hand off with the gun, throws it at his
yeah,
face. We can't be
yeah.
doing that. And
She
then
cuts his legs off,
cuts his legs off.
and
And then
then yeah, his other
breaks
arm.
and
It just,
just breaks it off
oh,
and breaks the
and then
in half.
she's not quite had enough, and just like pokes his eyes out.
Oh yeah, and now he's noticed what her secret weapon is because they're always talking about what she's got in her hand.
Yes.
She's got a secret weapon or what? And then she's like, "Oh wait, it's invisible hands."
Yep,
That's
he knows.
That's pretty ballsy.
To Bando's credit, like I say, he's strategized and found out more about the enemy in about 2 minutes than anyone else. Like people didn't even last that long normally.
Well,
Um,
I think
but I'm glad that he got tortured because he's an asshat.
he kind of deserved it. I think that's the whole point of his character,
Yeah,
kind of deserving to be
absolutely.
tortured. It's just an excuse and be on the side of Lucy. So she's kind of, and she can actually speak in this form, other than saying you.
Yeah,
She says some,
and the good voice acting.
Yeah. Says
The good voice acting.
what's what's the deal with you? Or something, I think she says. Something along those lines. And then he's like, so she's just pierced the eyes out, and she was going to do more to him. And then did she find the shell or something? Or what was it? Something knocks her back into her shell
She
thing.
looks at her hand.
With the shell in it.
Yeah, I think that's what it is, and
That's
it
what
kind
she.
of it throws her back to New again, who runs away hurriedly and frightenedly, uh,
Mhm.
passing uh, the young girl and her dog as she does.
Who's came to look and finds this crippled man and saves him as he's screaming like, "Oh, I'm gonna fucking kill you! I'll kill you! I'll kill you!"
She
And
still
she's
helps him. Still helps him.
yeah, she goes, sir, you okay, sir?" Just like
Does he
bleeding
look
out from.
okay? He's missing 3 legs, 3 limbs, and the other one is just mangled, and his eyes have been gouged out. What do
Yeah,
you think? What do you
yeah,
think? This guy
what?
is done.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, so she ties up the wounds with a bit of rope
She
somewhere.
does. Uses creates some sort of, I guess it's a tourniquet, really
Yeah.
tourniquet.
Anyway,
Um,
and then there's a helicopter because she's, I better go and phone an ambulance. So she
yep.
goes away to phone an ambulance, and then there's a helicopter flying above. And then by the time
And then
she
he's gone.
returns, he's gone. He's like, "Oh, where's this guy go?" Because he literally
She
can't move.
she did find the umbrella at this point, right? The
Yeah,
the bamboo umbrella
yeah, the bamboo
that had
umbrellas.
come from the restaurant, as you
Yeah,
say.
yeah, it's an
So
old restaurant. So that's next episode.
it is. At this point, I think we go to back to Bando in intensive care, I guess, to a degree.
No, no.
No?
Oh, I maybe yeah, no. I think we go back to what's his name, and he comes back to the house, and he
Oh, you're
finds
right. And he
Mew
finds
outside.
she's already there. Yeah, that's right.
So the point of leaving the door unlocked was pointless.
Oh God. Well, it was. It was just
It was
a
like,
nonsense statement.
what? What? I mean,
It's sort of the equivalent of did I leave the gas on? No, it's fine.
no,
And
no,
that being the end of that thought.
no, that's not. It's not the same statement. This is like, shall I leave the? It's not. It wasn't a question of leaving. Have I left the door open?
Should I lock the
So,
door?
should I lock the door? Was the
And the
question.
answer was no, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so should I go back in? I think I left the gas on. No. Like it doesn't matter. It's the point. It's a superfluous statement that means nothing to the story. And yet here we are.
Yeah, proving the point that it didn't matter.
Wild.
Uh,
Wild.
and then I think it maybe go back to Bando, screaming that he doesn't want to get castrated.
Yeah, this is where we find out that so I think this is where we first hear the term diclonius in this episode.
Uh,
Because I think they talk about
I think
what happened to him.
no, no, because they talk about Sivan, him and his deputy goes like, get Sivan on the go, and then they get
Yeah,
release Sivan. We're going to
did
do that. The Elder
did they
Craft
not?
one.
They talk about how he yells about not being wanting to be castrated, but the reason for that is because he's been infected now because he has been touched by what are called the vectors,
Yeah.
and the vectors are a property of the diclonius,
Hmm. So they have
basically.
horns, and they also have the
Y-
vectors.
Horns and invisible arms.
Yep.
Uh, and basically, yeah, the reason they want to castrate Bando is because any kid he would have is a diclonius at this point, because that's how this works apparently.
Yeah, they say Lucy's found a way to Because apparently she can't have kids herself, but
No,
she's found
she can.
she's found a way to
Oh no,
have
sorry, you're
kids.
right. No, yes, she doesn't reproduce the traditional way.
Yeah, yeah,
Is what they say.
yeah.
It's like this. She just gets inside you with her vectors, and then you're all good.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, good times.
Yeah.
And then we cut back to the house where Kota has decided that New, you're all like soaking wet. We need to get you out of these wet clothes.
Mhm.
And he is
Proper wet.
yeah, yeah. It's just this. And then we have the great bit of him taking her top off and trying not to look at her naked.
Hmm.
And then saying like, "Hey, now put your arms up like this. We're gonna put
Yeah.
the new shirt on." And then he just basically grabs her boobs instead of like pulling the shirt down.
Hmm.
And then he's like, "Okay, that didn't really work, but now for the difficult bit. We're gonna need to change your shorts."
Hmm.
And he's got her in this sort of like changing a baby pose, which is horrifying in itself. He's like, "Okay, we're just gonna do this in like one motion. That's it. It's gonna be great."
Yeah.
And literally in synchronization with him pulling like her shorts off,
Hmm.
the door slides open.
And there's Yuka.
It's so good. Like it's the
Yeah.
oh
Yeah. It's sort of like some more backstory in this one, where
uh
she's basically she got like the you remember Squid Games, and they had like the rice cutting game where they had to
wait,
cut the
no,
shape.
that 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 was that this one, and she'd just come back from that.
And she was dropping clothes off and stuff.
She brought him a thing that he was like, "Oh, great, cool, thanks." And she's like, "How can you not remember? How can
Well,
you not remember?"
well, he's and there's this a bit where he talks about how his dad died in I think that's next
Isn't that?
episode still.
I don't know. Yeah, like I say, these kind of blend together. I can't remember because I know that the next one is the one where it's very much focused on the love relationship between these two cousins. Uh, um,
Yeah.
I can't remember if this is where she storms out.
Well, no, that's
And
the end of the episode.
well, this is the end of the episode. Yeah, you're right. So we should rate this. How do you rate
Yeah.
this one, Colin?
It's certainly added a shitload on top
Yeah,
of what was from the first episode with no explanation. Really, well, they made got
should
a wee bit of an explanation
yeah,
of what she
like it's
is.
it's adding a little bit more. We should probably say like we could probably agree though. The action sequences are pretty fantastic.
Very interesting.
It reminds me of like remember I was saying when we did Trigun and there's that whole action sequence with knives
Hmm.
when he like attacks the town
Yeah,
and it's just this like this raw power that nobody can actually put up with. That's the kind of bit I like about this so far is basically it's like this impossible force that everyone keeps trying to deal with and just can't.
yeah. I mean, yeah, that's kind of what the story of it is.
It's
Also,
good.
I don't know. Did Seven release this one?
No,
No,
seven is at the end of the next episode.
that's when she meets with the Mew.
Yes. I think that's actually where that episode ends. Is basically them
I mean,
finding each other. So
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So it's
Uh, but how do you rate episode two, Colin?
um, yeah, it's voice acting is shite. It makes me
Really
laugh.
bad.
It breaks the
Actually,
scene.
to be fair, Bando's is not terrible. He's just a jerk. So
Well, yeah, it didn't help
except
him.
for the
But
bit about clicking the gun, that wasn't great.
and then
You can only work with whatever you've got.
he said $1 thing. think there's some other stuff in it that was just like one line quips. Yeah. That's when he was on the table, in the offering table where he didn't want to get castrated.
Yeah,
It was like, I've already been chopped up so much. Can you? I don't want to lose another part. It's like,
yeah, it's fair. That's fair.
yeah. Uh, um, I'm still going to keep it as 7.
Okay, I think I'll go down to a 7 on this one. That action sequence is cool though. The Bando Lucy fight is cool. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, so we end that episode with him removing her shirts, and then episode 3, Deep Feelings. We start off by repeating that scene.
Don't think you repeat it. I think it just kind of happens that she's there, and then I think there's a slap, and then she
Oh,
storms
there's
out.
definitely a slap. Definitely a slap.
Yeah, and she storms out, and then it's at this point we start talking about the directors in the cell where Seven is, and there's this conversation between the scientist and the director's assistant outside, because Seven believes that the director is her father.
That's right. Yeah, because she refers to him as Papa.
Yeah, it's
Which can if you watch Stranger Things.
no.
So interestingly, and I cannot believe I did not draw this parallel until now. Uh, the lead character in that
Uh-huh.
is an imprisoned psychic child
Uh-huh.
called 11,
11. 11.
who refers to the scientist who takes care of her as Papa.
All right. Possibly watch
So
Elfen Lied.
I I think it would be weird if that wasn't the case.
I think it's coincidence. To be honest. That's there's a correlation. Anyway, so
Yeah,
there's the discussion here between those two, and it's like, oh, is that the is she? And it's like, no, she's just been here since she was kind of born here.
yeah,
Uh, and this is kind of her coping mechanism to make sure she doesn't go insane.
yeah. Because she's
And
had some horrible shit done to her.
well, she's kind of just chained up to the wall like that, and lying on her leg, covered in blood.
That is true.
And she gets some experiments done, and Barrett goes in, I need to go and kill someone. And she says, oh, I don't think I can kill anyone, Papa. That's
He's
okay.
like, well, just
You,
find her.
you just need to
That's
find her.
okay.
Because the icons can sense each other.
Yeah, which she agrees to.
Icons? Yeah.
Diaclone. Diaclone? No, Diaclone's the Transformer. Diclonius.
Diclonius.
Yeah,
Still sounds like
Diclonius.
Still
It
sounds
does.
like
It's not.
Transform.
It's not Diaclone. Diaclone is like the Transformer. But yeah, Diclonius.
Mhm.
Um, and yeah, she agrees to do that. Is this the bit where we see her like getting suited and booted in her lovely dress?
No, that's kind of a bit later. So go back to the house because
Uh,
go
Well, of
go.
course, we should probably say, of course, there has been several occasions where Kouta has been found in a bit of an awkward position with Yuka. We did forget to mention that Yuka bathed uh New.
Oh yeah, because she just
It,
kind of urinated
she
on
did pee on
the
the floor.
when she first came to the house.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And then she got changed into clothes, like basically a vest, and then just kept pulling it to the side to reveal her chest. And he's just staring the whole time. So there are a lot of occasions like that where slowly Yuka was getting more and more jealous of the interest that Kota had in New,
I
whether it was
mean,
intentional or not. I
that's
think to defend him minorly, I don't think this is entirely his fault.
no. He's a bit isn't shy.
Yeah, and also he's still an idiot. But yeah, this is not
100%.
100% his fault.
Yeah.
Uh,
Uh, so
yeah,
he basically go back there and he goes, oh shit, I got a shiver down my back there. because when Yuka left, I hope I ain't getting a cold. And
That's right.
then he gets 39 degrees fever,
He does.
and he's like, "Okay, you, I need you to get me some water."
This is great. And she's like, I got it. And
Brings a slipper,
brings
and he's like, "Ah, don't worry about it." And then she keeps going and trying to get the right thing. Uh,
Yeah.
and then this is where Yuka comes to drop off some clothing for Mew,
For
and
new.
then walks
Yep.
away, and then the door opens, and it's like, Kouta, no, I didn't come here to see you, I just dropping some stuff off, and then turns around and says, oh, it's you, Mew. What's wrong? And she just goes, water. And she goes,
Yeah.
what?
She says a word that's not new.
Yeah. What? What do you mean? And then they come in and see that he's ill, and then Yuka kind of takes care of I'm sure there's another. There's certainly a scene where she stares at these shapes and
Yeah,
reminisces back at the fair.
I think that's the bit where she's gone away and come back. I think that's the bit in between here. It's like you say,
Yeah,
it's the kind of using a needle to cut out a shape.
yeah, yeah,
And it was there. It was Yuka and Kota's sort of relationship of him teasing her but not being good at it, and him being really really good at it, and
uh,
him promising her, she's like, you know, I'll do anything you want if you can do this just once.
yeah,
And she's like, well, I'll do that. And it turns out she's been doing that for 8 freaking years.
yeah. And then she's get, oh, I'm such an idiot. And it's yeah, you are.
Yeah, yeah,
'Cause she also remembers about someone saying like waving them goodbye, him and his sister and his
that's right.
father.
I think that might be when like you said earlier, where she's like helping him because she comes in and she's like, "What happened here? Did you like unpack a bunch of stuff?" And it's like, "No, New just brought a load of different things that weren't water
Yeah,
to me." I guess there's like bicycle parts and
yeah,
like just stuff everywhere. But I think it's the bit where he does end up talking about the dad. He's like, "Because my dad died," and she goes, "Oh, is that what happened?" And you're like, why don't you know that? Why don't you know that?
she knows more than you think. I think.
Why
In
don't you
fact,
know that?
I technically don't. I technically know.
Yeah. No,
Uh,
I know. It's just that thing of like, it's like, yeah, oh gosh, is that really? And you're like,
yeah,
yeah, why
yeah.
would you know that?
You know. Oh, also, back in the first episode,
Uh-huh.
when they first found out you has horns on her head,
Uh-huh.
Goto has a terrifying flashback of a
Oh,
shadowy
that's
figure.
right. Of a girl with horns.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
right.
that's right. Anyway, so that's the thing that happened. He's there, and then I think
They get some sleep.
yeah, and it
He wakes up
recovers.
and is okay.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
fine. And then I think someone arrives at the door, and it's the little girl.
No, Yuka. I think Yuka comes back and basically says, "Right, you two are hopeless. I'm gonna.
I'm I,
I'm moving in. I'm gonna look
I'm
after
moving
you."
in here.
Yeah,
Yeah, we got to get this harem going. I'm
yeah,
gonna move in here.
yeah. I'm gonna move in. And then some more embarrassing things between him and Mew arise,
Yeah,
and she gets upset and says, "I'm going shopping." And then the lass with the dog comes with the brolly.
the umbrella had the address on it or something
Yeah,
like, or she knew where it was. Like one of the two.
yeah. It's oh yeah, I got this brolly. It's for here, right? So yeah, thanks for returning it. I got where did you get it? Oh, a couple of days ago on the beach.
Hmm.
A couple of days ago on the beach. Quick, come in, tell me everything about it. Was there shoulders there? Yes, it was. To hold the thought gets thicker.
Although, does she not like see New as well and kind of go, "Oh, I recognize you," because she saw her run past?
Yeah, maybe, but not quite because Mia's now got her hat on and looks completely different
Oh yeah, the green hat. But no,
with
I thought I'm sure
with
she recognized her
the two weird
the two
frilly
bits.
things.
But I'm sure she kind of goes like, "Oh, I have to go," when she recognizes New.
Uh, no, maybe,
And
but
they're like,
that's
"No, stay,"
yeah,
and
because Yuka comes back, and I think she notices like the
mhm.
dog outside because she ties the
Yeah,
dog up outside, and then also the shoes out. Says, "Oh, who's this?" And it's like, "Not another girl, fuck's sake."
yeah. Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
And she's
but
like, "Well, you might as well stay for food because I got food."
yeah, she's the cook of the harem.
Um,
And the other ones
and
are the slackers.
do
It's,
is this is where New awakens into
listen,
Lucy?
yeah, because basically they're tidying the place up, so
Mm-hmm.
they're showing how to. Oh, that was the reason why she got upset. It's because um, it's because the Koto. What do you want to call him? Kotaro?
Kouta.
Kota is cleaning the floor by doing the whole running along with
Oh,
the cloth on the ground.
yep,
And Yuka goes away to get Mew's stuff because she wants to do it because she's doing the motions.
that's right.
And then she gets really close to Kota, who then jabs her in the breast.
Oh yeah.
And then she's like, "Oh, that's my breast. That's a breast." And then, yeah, he's
Just kind of rubs against him for a little bit. Huh.
yeah, and on you know he basically squeezes her breast
Yep.
essentially, and then it gets caught again. And then she's like, "It's not what it looks like." And
And she's like,
she just gives like the skull, and she goes, "I'm going shopping."
is that the is it the bit where she kind of like turns around and goes, "Try not to do anything else like that."
Yeah, yeah,
The demon face.
yeah. Try not to do any other misbehavings.
That's so good.
Um, so and then last with the dog comes to have the conversation. Mew finds the music box that
That's
plays
what it
the intro,
is.
and
Da na 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 na.
I think she falls
na.
over. Oh yeah, she's listened to it, and then she
She
spills over the
falls.
pail of water and slips and
Yep.
bangs her head,
Yeah.
and then she awakens as Lucy, and then they're like, "You all right, you?" And she just kind of gets up with her face, and then throws the hands towards the guy, uh,
Yep.
who
Dakota.
then she has a flashback of like, "Stop, leave her alone," type thing. Stop
Yep.
it. As Kota's a kid, and then
The
goes
hands just stop.
to stop, and she runs away, and then
Oh, she slowly walks away, and
yeah,
then we, for a brief second, think she's committed dog murder.
yeah, you hear the dog yapping, and they're on about, oh, wonder where she's gone, and uh, wonder what happened to the dog,
Yep.
and because she stares at the dog yapping at her with
Yep.
scurly eyes, and then she walks away, uh, and the dog stops barking, and
And
then
the dog is no longer on its leash. That's the thing. There's just an empty leash now attached
yeah,
to the pillar.
yeah, the girl comes. I think she introduced herself. I can't remember her name.
Uh, uh, uh Mayu.
Mayu. So Mayu's comes out and goes, "Oh, where's the dog?" "Oh no!" And then the dog comes running back to her and says, "Hi, she's left. He's left me a while."
Yeah.
And it's like, oh,
That
you're
was
never going to leave me. That's great.
I was so glad that dog wasn't dead.
Not yet. It might be dead. I can't remember if he got slaughtered or not. Don't think Mew did it though.
Well,
Or
that
maybe she
that
does.
I don't know that girl that I thought, oh, she's probably not gonna die, died immediately by having her head twisted off like a lemonade. So the dog probably doesn't stand a chance.
Yeah. Um. Well, you never know.
Yeah.
And then Mew, you think it cuts to basically, oh, Seven's been sent out in the mission, and she basically asks a favor from the director. Can I
Yep.
get your um
Your tie.
your tie? She didn't call it tie though. The
She
bit
doesn't
of
call it a
string,
tie. You're right. Yeah, your colorful string
your
that you keep
colorful
around your
string.
neck,
Yeah,
and she ties it sort of like buns around
horns
her horns
like ribbon. Yeah,
so that
and
she
it.
can blend in.
I
She's
mean,
also wearing a very pretty, in her words, a very pretty dress.
yeah,
She's like, I like this dress.
a black dress with white collars.
Her voice actress is okay. I actually think her performance is really good.
Yeah, she's all right. I was um I was more referring to just the reason Mew's voice actress is pretty good because all she's got to do is say Mew for
I mean that's
75%
true,
of the
but
time.
I think the I mean I presume it's the same actor who does Lucy as well, or maybe not, but the performance is good. I think,
Yeah.
like from her perspective. But yeah, like Yuka and Kota's performances are not great. The director's is not great.
Yeah, they're all pretty cardboard.
Oh,
Yeah, so then I think basically this leads up to basically number seven finding uh Lucy on the stairs. The same stairs that we found Kota and Yuka.
yep. And she's like, I thought I felt you here,
Yeah.
and that's pretty much where it ends, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. I think so. Yeah.
I think she maybe says, "I need you to come back with me" or something like that.
Oh, I'm gonna go home, and you need to come home with me.
Yep,
And
that's it.
this an underline with the director. Well, what and the assistant is like Seven isn't as strong as Lucy. You know she can't win in a fight. And he's like, yeah, it's fine as long as she finds her, we'll be able to.
Just yeah, that's very sad. uh, because I think Seven almost seems like the innocence of New.
Yeah,
Um,
she's certainly more not as insane as Lucy is. Also,
I think she calls her Nana, not number seven,
Anna.
to her
Yeah,
Nana.
yeah. Was it's when they first kind of introduced her and he walks out of the cell that she was in.
Hmm.
Uh, he just was pretty cold with it.
Yeah.
It was like,
Yep.
yeah, get her suited and booted.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's get her out in the field.
Yeah.
Um. So yeah, that's the end of episode 3. How do you feel about this one?
It's got some comedy moments in this one.
Yep.
The perversion moments too. That got to keep all that comedy gold going.
Plenty of those.
Yeah. Uh, progresses the story a bit more, as another character, two other characters into the fold.
Yep.
Of who are they and what they're going to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
uh, well, I'm going to stay with 7 or 6.
I'm probably about a 7. I think it's a lower 7 than the last episode because not as much has happened. But I do, in keeping with the new character who is called number 7, I'll give it a 7. So
All right. Okay. Yeah, that works.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Well, we've actually kind of managed to cover quite a lot of ground there in our time. We've managed to cover all three of the first episodes, and therein lies the end of our first episode of, I should say, our 11th season of Who's That Anime?
Hey, 11.
11th season.
Sorry. 11.
11. 11.
11.
Classic.
Uh,
But uh, we'll be back next week to talk about episodes 4 and 5. Uh, and yeah, due to the discovery of that OVA, we may have to do another episode of 3, but I think that might be okay. We can make that work, I think. Um, but yeah, which leaves me to say, you've been listening to Who's That Anime, an anime podcast. We can be found where all good podcasts can be found. Our home is at anchor.fm/ Who's That Anime. We don't have any advertising. We don't make any money from this show. But if you do like what it is we do, then leaving us a review on your podcatching software of choice would be awesome. It helps with the algorithm. And obviously, if you've already done that or can't do that, then telling a friend is also another thing you can do.
mm-hmm. Yep.
Uh, I should say as well, we are in the charts right now, Colin. Gonna give you the live read just
All
while we're
right.
at the end here. Do you know that we are in 3 different charts at the moment, Colin?
Is it 3 different charts? Because you sent me a picture on Monday, and
Uh-huh.
2 of those charts, right?
Uh-huh.
I didn't understand why there were 2 different charts.
Because
Because,
one of them is less specific.
but they're both in the Pacific.
Yes. So, well, to start with, we are number 117 in United Kingdom for animation and manga. We are
Wait,
also at number 16 in the Philippines for animation and manga, but we're also number 229 for general leisure podcasts in the Philippines.
this,
So there you go.
yeah, what? Are we not trending anywhere
Wild
else?
times. No. Philippines, UK, that's it.
Also, we dropped a bit since Monday.
We have. It's fine.
But
It's
we're at
fine. These things
99
happen.
on Monday. We're below
We
100.
were. We
What's
were we
happened?
were living the high life.
Our own nation just
Yeah,
just
letting us down.
not going for it.
Eh, well. Well, you can also find us at facebook.com/ Who's That Anime. We post the latest episode releases and the occasional anime meme. We have a Discord. You can find the link to that in the show notes too. We also have a YouTube that is youtube.com, and if you search for at Who's That Anime, where Colin will painstakingly put together the video versions of these episodes. We also occasionally like to play video games, stressed on the occasionally there.
Mm.
Colin at twitch.tv/couchfuel and myself at twitch.tv/hailpayman. You can find archives of all of the stuff we've done on those channels at YouTube too, if you go to youtube.com and search for either at couchfuel or at hailpayman.
Mm. Yeah,
And that's us.
yeah, cool.
It's time.
Just-
What weird harem shenanigans will we get up to next week? Who knows?
Uh, I don't know. If you want to watch some weird harem thing that I never watched, it's a Shuffle. It's a good one apparently.
I'm good.
I mean, it's like I don't know. It's people. It was like something. I'm sure Shuffle is the one. It's basically like the main love interest goes insane eventually
Uh,
because he keeps kind of bringing all these other girls into the house, and they're all kind of that, and then she just kind of like literally goes insane. I might have killed
Amazing.
her. I don't know what's going on now.
Oh God.
Ew. It's certainly
Well,
on that vein. Anyway, with that
on that note,
bombshell, We'll catch you next week. Same anime time, same anime place, same anime series. Because we're still
Yeah,
doing Elfen Lied. Elfen Lied?
still doing it. Elfen Lied.
I keep wanting to say Elfen Laid, but it's Elfen Lied.
Elfen Lied.
Because no one gets laid.
I don't know about that in this show. Well, I can't remember specifically, but maybe. Ugh. We'll see.
No, I don't think it goes that way.
No. Oh well.
Yeah.
Elfen Lied it is.
Elfen Lied.
Bye, folks.
See you there. Bye.
Oh man, this show.